Spoilers for the December 21-25 season of Young and the Restless indicate that Faith Newman, Olivia Allen Lind, is up to no good due to her dubious companion. Additionally, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heil, is irritated by Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. The CBS soap opera is going to have a lot of drama throughout Christmas week. In recent episodes of Y&R, Victoria Newman appeared at Chance Com and inquired about Billy Abbott. Furthermore, it is evident that Vicky attempted to pit Amanda Sinclair, Michelle Morgan, against Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil. However, they were not duped by Victoria's plan. According to Young and the Restless teasers for next week, Billy accuses Victoria of being envious of his new relationship with Lily. Vicky claims she is unconcerned, but this is obviously untrue. She has alienated everyone in her life, and she has few followers and no man in Genoa City during the holidays. Spoilers for the upcoming week of Young and the Restless indicate that Faith Newman is in for a rough time. Faith makes a plot to steal some alcohol with her shady friend Jordan, played by Madison Thompson. Watches Faith and a friend attempt to rob the bar at Society. On the CBS soap opera, Jordan promises to divert attention while Faith raises a bottle. Young and the Restless spoilers. Will Faith Newman allow her friend to move Lola Rosales, Sasha Cal, aside so she may have a drink? Faith's fight with the bottle is obviously far from ended. Additionally, Faith Newman could ruin her mother's wedding if she is drunk for Christmas. Be careful, Faith. Additionally, Amanda learns the next week that her investigator has located her biological mother. She therefore asks Devon Hamilton, played by Brighton James, to accompany her. They will meet Naya Benedict, played by Tasha Story, who apparently gave birth to Amanda and Hillary Curtis, another relative of the lady lawyer, and her deceased twin, Imani Benedict. Leanne Rose is also introduced in Young and the Restless teasers. In addition, as she and Nate Hastings, Saint Dominic, become closer over Christmas, Devon's ex-girlfriend Alina Dawson, Brittany Sarpy, ponders her future. According to teasers for Young and the Restless, Peter Bergman's character Jack Abbott is lamenting over previous Christmases. He has had a difficult year. In addition to losing his mother, Dina Murgeron, Marla Adams, he also had a falling out with Ashley Abbott. Eileen Davidson was betrayed by his new nephew and fell in love. However, when Jack receives a surprise guest, Young and the Restless spoilers suggest that things might improve for him. Since Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, is also by herself, we must speculate as to whether she is the one knocking on his door. Will Sally choose Dad over Kyle Abbott, played by Michael Mealer? Victor Newman, Eric Braden, and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, got into a heated argument this week regarding Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. The mustache gave her a reality check, but she still wants Victor's younger kid out of their lives. No matter what, he will never cut off his beloved son. According to spoilers for Young and the Restless, Adam is still absent but is at the top of Victor's mind. Though they make an effort to have a pleasant vacation, will Mr. and Mrs. Mustache be able to travel to London? The Young and the Restless is set to disprove your belief that Genoa City has already hit its limit in terms of drama. Everyone, from the Abbotts to the Newmans, is caught in the emotional crossfire of a startling storm of treachery, temptation, and tragedy that occurs over the week of October 21-25. A perilous relapse might permanently ruin a family as secrets come to light and forbidden impulses take over. These 5 crazy spoilers, which include Fate's frightening descent, Billy's vicious ridicule of Victoria, and an unforeseen showdown that might change everything, promise to make next week one of the most jaw-dropping ever. Since returning from college, Faith Newman, Ray Lancaster, has been having difficulties, but the fractures begin to appear in a catastrophic way the next week. Behind closed doors, Faith is struggling to be the perfect Newman daughter, even though her family thinks she's adjusting well. Being surrounded by her domineering parents, Nick and Sharon, who are both engrossed in their own mayhem, makes her feel insignificant. And Faith goes to booze, which dulls the pain, while the Shea wedding fiasco remains in her thoughts. She promises herself that it's only to take the edge off when she steals a half-empty bottle of wine from the ranch cellar one lonely night. However, that one drink quickly escalates into multiples, and by the middle of the week, Faith is smuggling vodka into her coffee cup and concealing the bottles beneath her bed. Melody Thomas Scott's character Nikki fears someone has been drinking when she discovers a bottle of her favorite brandy is missing. However, the little girl reacts angrily when she confronts Faith, accusing her grandma of treating her like a child and spying. The tragic irony? As someone in recovery from alcoholism, Nikki is all too familiar with the symptoms. Later, at a heartbreaking moment, she tells Victor that she worries history is being repeated. Anticipate poignant moments as Nikki battles to keep Faith's secret safe while facing her inner problems. However, the truth practically spills out when Faith breaks down at a contentious family meal. The Newman family will be completely upended by the aftermath. Jason Thompson's character Billy Abbott has never been known for his subtlety. But next week he loses his fury in a way that could have serious consequences. As tensions at Chancellor Winters escalate, Billy uses his favorite target, his ex-girlfriend Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinle, as a release for his annoyance. They have been arguing for weeks about corporate strategy, and when they finally meet at society, the conflict erupts. Victoria softly reminds Billy that she is no longer interested in playing his immature games, trying to keep her usual poise. But Billy can't help but twist the knife because of his ego, booze, and hatred. He begins making fun of Victoria's romantic life in front of a number of shocked bystanders. He makes fun of her breakup with Nate, and even implies that she can't keep a man unless Daddy approves. It is a harsh, unvarnished, and extremely degrading moment. A legendary soap opera moment that viewers will relive for weeks is when Victoria slaps him across the face. Billy makes an effort to apologize later, but it's too little, too late. After learning about the event, Victor calls Billy to the ranch so they may verbally abuse him. Publicly making fun of my daughter? Victor snarls, "You've turned against the Newmans once more." Not even Peter Bergman's character Jack Abbott is overjoyed. "You're becoming the man you swore you'd never be again." Jack cautions Billy as he returns to Jebat to nurse his hangover and his remorse. For Billy, this might be the beginning of a more sinister downward spiral that leads him into perilous, self-destructive ground. Sharon Case, is attempting to retain her sanity after the tumult of her interrupted wedding renewal, but her thoughts keep going back to the image of the person who interrupted the ceremony. She can still hear the intruder's terrifying words. "Shannon, you can't bury the past. You are constantly found by it." Sharon spends the following week trying to figure out who wrote the enigmatic letter that was left at the altar. As a spectral reminder of her trauma, she starts to see flashes of her former stalker Cameron Kirsten in her dreams. Strongly protective Ray, Jordi Villasuso, begs Sharon to let things go, but she refuses. Strange events like her car alarm going off in the middle of the night and receiving anonymous text messages that say, "I see you," make her more paranoid. Sharon's concern is only exacerbated by Faith's own downward spiral. Unaware of the alcohol misuse taking on right in front of her, Sharon believes her daughter's unpredictable behavior is simply the result of mental stress. In one especially eerie scenario, Sharon discovers Faith sobbing while clutching a shattered glass in the kitchen. She murmurs, "Mom, I'm just tired." As Sharon's dread of losing control reflects Faith's battle in private, the mother-daughter conflict increases. A parcel bearing a picture of Sharon from years ago, taken by Cameron Kirsten himself, arrives at Crimson Lights just as Sharon believes she has found peace. The attached message? The second round. In addition to potentially reintroducing a ghost from Sharon's past, this terrifying turn of events will push her into a downward spiral that could rekindle one of Vi and R's most perilous plotlines. Next week, Victor's manipulations drive Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, who has been making an effort to be morally upright, back into the dark. Adam lashes out at Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, when his father humiliates him during the Newman Enterprises meeting. She listens with empathy, but Adam can't help but notice Jack's increasing interest in Sally. Adam's jealousy rages until it pushes him to make a bad choice. In an attempt to make his family look bad, he gives away private company information to a third party. However, when the leak directly implicates him, the scheme fails spectacularly. Adam is called out in front of the whole family by Victor, who is enraged and uncompromising. Victor says, You have once again shown that you are untrustworthy. Adam tries to explain, but it is ignored. Adam leaves the meeting in a wrath, saying, "You'll all regret pushing me away again." However, the anguish in his voice is sadness rather than merely rage. Adam and Faith, who are both adrift and battling unshareable demons, later cross paths in the park. Adam softly advises her, "Don't let the darkness win, Faith," in a sequence that is very moving. It's difficult to stop once it begins. Both are unaware of the eerie prophetic nature of those words. By the end of the week, Victor is planning to teach Adam a lesson, once more, and Nick and Victoria are covertly talking about permanently removing him from the family business. Now that the Newman battle has returned, it has the potential to truly destroy them. As Faith spirals and the Newmans quarrel, Genoa City is rocked by another dramatic outburst, this time between former best friends Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, and Chloe Mitchell, Elizabeth Hendrickson. Chloe is upset over Sally's resumed relationship with Jack Abbott, because she thinks her friend is making the same mistakes she has in the past. Chloe informs Sally that she is jumping from man to man, in order to fill a hole during a heated argument at the design office. Sally responds by accusing Chloe of being envious and judgmental. What starts out as a verbal sparring match becomes intensely personal. In reference to Sally's agonizing miscarriage earlier this year, Chloe charges Sally with using her tragedy for attention. Sally is devastated and rendered speechless by the remark. "You believe that I desire to be broken?" Sally shouts while crying. "You think I'll enjoy this?" Although Chloe quickly retracts her remarks, the harm has already been done. Sally declares she's done with their friendship forever as she rushes out. Later, Jack discovers a visibly frightened Sally seated by herself at Crimson Lights. He softly reassures her that she is deserving of happiness. Another tender, heartfelt moment results from their chat, and it's possible that a kiss will rekindle their passion. Chloe's guilt, meanwhile, consumes her. In an attempt to mediate, Kevin exhorts her to make amends before it's too late. However, Chloe might be dealing with more than just a strained friendship. She's also going to learn that Billy's most recent business error may put her career at Chancellor Winters in peril. Nikki Newman finds herself falling apart as Sharon spirals and Faith drinks in secret. She has been too strong, too calm, and too in charge for too long. However, she loses it when she finds the empty wine bottle in Faith's chamber. Nikki shuts herself in the ranch study and stares at a bottle of alcohol in a heartbreaking scenario. Reminiscent of her own worst nights, her hands shake. She mumbles, "Never again." However, temptation prevails. As she unscrews the cap, the camera moves away, and the eerie sound of a pour fills the room. Victor discovers her pale and aloof the following morning. He is aware. Additionally, the all-powerful Newman patriarch is unable to save the lady he loves for the first time in years. The Young and the Restless's upcoming week is sure to be nothing short of explosive, a perfect storm of tragedy, controversy, and emotion that will put the strongest families in Genoa City to the test. Fans will be moved to tears by Faith's tragic descent into addiction, which echoes Nikki's background and creates a terrible generational echo. Billy's vicious taunt of Victoria serves as a reminder to viewers of why he is still one of Vi and R's most erratic characters, capable of both intense affection and startling brutality. A terrifying secret that may be connected to one of the soap opera's most lethal antagonists is set up by Sharon's unsettling visions. The Newmans, who are torn by pride, remorse, and anguish, are at their breaking point as a result of everything.